Hi, I'm Lynn. I'm cultural support worker for the Noojmowin Teg Health Center. And today I'm just going for a walk outside. It's amazing the benefits that Mother Nature has to offer us. And I know in this time of the COVID epidemic, some fresh air is definitely much needed for some of us who have been cooped up in the house. Just remember to stay safe and always bring your sema with you. We're going to be taking a little bit of a walk here to see what types of plants we come across and see the benefits. I always bring my sema with me everywhere I go, especially when I'm outside, just to give thanks to Mother Nature, Shkog Makwe, to Jamnedo, our creator, for providing us with everything that we need. I'm just in a local area here, and we're going to go take a walk and see what we come across. Okay, so already what we have here is Poplar Tree. This is a fairly young poplar tree here, but what you see right now this time of year is it's budding. So poplar buds twice a year, in the fall and in the spring. And what we use this for, what I've been taught, I know it has many purposes, but Minigan is one of its main purposes. We pick the buds once they get sticky and they're not quite ready yet. But a lot of the smaller, younger trees will produce a lot of these buds, which we could see here. This poplar has lots of buds that will be budding fairly soon, and we pick them right before they bud when they get sticky. So that's one. Now, so here we have a birch tree. This is a young guy too. Birches bud as well. Not quite sure of the purposes of birch buds, but I know that everything has purpose on Mother Earth. But this is just a young birch. We use the bark for different giveaways, feast plates, and offerings. Birch trees also produce sap. So sort of like what a maple tree would, we could tap these. You want to make sure that they're a little bit bigger than what this guy is. But you could tap them and they'll leak sap like the maple, and you could boil that down to make a syrup. It's not as sweet as maple and it's less common, but very much similar, very medicinal, and you could drink that. A lot of our people would drink this in the springtime to cleanse their bodies, to cleanse their systems, as medicine. And when you boil it down in order to make sap, I think is why a lot of people don't boil it down, is because it takes about 100 liters of the sap in order to make 1 liter of syrup. So yeah. So here we have cedar, very common. It's one of the 4 sacred medicines that we have. So cedar, which is this, then we have sweetgrass, sage, and sema, the tobacco. This is just a small guy, he's young. If we were to pick this, I would probably only pick a few smaller boughs closer to the main trunk and kind of let him grow, let him get bigger. But yeah, very medicinal. You can make cedar tea with this. It'll cleanse the air. It'll also cleanse your body when you drink it. If you're having trouble breathing, you could boil a pot of cedar, put a towel over your head and breathe that air in, and do that for about 10 minutes, and that'll clear out your whole system. It'll disinfect your lungs and heal kind of the throat area of any infection, bacteria. Okay, so here we have red willow. This is just a small guy as well. When we pick it, we'll just either, if he's bigger, you'll cut off some of the smaller branches, but this guy, we'd kind of just take him off our sema first if you couldn't find anything else. So red willow, what we do is we take the bark off of it, we'll peel it off, and that could be boiled up. We use it in Minigan as well. One of the medicines that go into that rub, that ointment. It could also be put into tea. You could boil just the bark, and it's really good for pain relief for women on their moon time, experiencing cramps or back pain. And yeah, now. So So here we have a very mature spruce tree. This is also one of the medicines that you could pick, steep it, and make a tea out of. This is also one of the medicines that go into a pain rub. And you could also gather the pine sap, the pine gum that comes out, which is also an ingredient to the minigan. This is a nice mature one. Underneath you can see there's like kind of some dead underhang, and if you're ever trapped out in the bush or even out in the bush cold and wanting to make a fire, this is some of the best stuff to pick and to start your fire off with, because it's fairly dry. It's like nice small twigs that work as kindling. This is an example of how the spruce kind of leaks the gum. This is a place where it used to have an old branch kind of like this one. It was broken off, and then the gum kind of just comes out and seeps down. Here we have balsam, another medicinal plant. It has sap in little bubbles here. And if any of you guys have experience doing firewood and have used balsam, your hands get very sticky just handling the wood throughout the year. But this sap that is in these bubbles is also a medicine that can be used, and is very good. This is a balsam that a lot of its bubbles have kind of already burst at this point. It's leaking all the way down. There's sap kind of all around the tree, as you can see. We'd gather these as they're soft or as they're running. You could heat these up, make medicine out of it as well. This is a spruce tree that has a lot of gum that can be taken off of it. Here's another chunk of gum down here. When you're out in the forest, it's actually really awesome what you could come across when you're just paying attention, taking your time, giving thanks to Mother Earth and creation. Chimigwech jamnido, Chimigwech ragmakwe, Chimigwech wabanon, Zhangnong, Epigeshmuk, Giwadenong, Chimigwech, Naha. Honey, this is a nice mature cedar. He's big and he seems very healthy. So I'm just gonna pick a few of the just cedar boughs. What I usually pick is not bigger than my hand. All you need in a pot of water is about the size of your hand, boiled down, and you could drink that as tea, or you boil it up and add that to your bath and take a cedar bath to cleanse your body. cleanse your skin, cleanse your hair, remove any negative energy, anything that you might be carrying with you that doesn't benefit you, doesn't have purpose, and that isn't yours, so that you could be the best person that you could possibly be walking around Mother Earth. So I'm just gonna pick a few dried out. I'm gonna add this to my smudge. I like having cedar, especially this time of year, in my smudge. Cleansing the air, especially with the pandemic that's going around. I tend to smudge throughout the day, almost all day long. You can smell smudge throughout the house. So I got a little handful here. I got enough for my smudge to mix in with my other medicines, and I got enough to make a nice pot of cedar tea when I get home. So I also just want to add that before taking any medicines that you either pick yourself or that you make, to always consult with a professional first, whether that be your doctor, because it could have conflicting issues if you have any problems with your body that you're already taking medication for. It'd be important to talk to an elder who knows about the medicines and what it can do for your body, but every good thing also has a bad thing. So taking too much of a certain medicine can be bad, and taking a medicine that you don't necessarily need can also have some negative effects. So always just be aware. It's not really something to take lightly. And just ask, and usually there's people around that have the answers for you. And lay your tobacco to Creator to help give you those answers, so that those people come into your life, or that you cross their paths at one point or another to receive the teachings and the answers that you're looking for. Okay, so I just want to say that I'm definitely no expert in medicine and plants. I'm an early learner. I think I'll be a forever learner. There's so much to know, and I just know a fraction of it. But I'm more than happy to share what I do know, and I feel like that becomes a responsibility that we all carry, is when we receive teachings, is to follow in that path, like Lena or Sema, giving thanks, being respectful, staying humble to that plant, not picking too much, not picking more than we need, and praying to that spirit before we pick it, to ask that plant to give us the medicines that we need to stay healthy, and have respect overall of the world around us.